Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. For our cheap and easy idea, I have kind of a newish twist on a really old school idea. I know marble mazes are kind of like over and done with. Everyone's done them. We've all like tried them out in our makerspace. We've made them with cardboard tubes. Like, I get that. But my kids really like doing them. And what I was worried about was even though people donate toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls, with so many kids doing them, I would usually run out of those supplies. And I really wanted to keep doing them. So if there's something that your kids like and you would like to revisit, but you don't really want to gather the supplies for them, what I started doing was I started doing wall marble mazes. And so I find a blank spot on my wall or the side of a bookshelf or something like that. And I get painter's tape and I get pieces of paper. Construction paper works really well because it's a little thicker. Cardstock works great, but you're not going to use tons of cardstock on this. You'd have to buy it. So either paper or construction paper will work. And what I had my kids do, I just had them fold it like this into kind of just like a little teardrop shape. And then they would get the tape and they would just tape it up onto the wall like this. And so they would have one paper like this and then another paper down here to catch it. And then they would build like a little cone and tape it up to the wall. And they would just keep going and see what they could build. And it actually worked really, really well. So it was just a good way for me to keep doing that activity without having to use up all the different supplies that I had and without having to keep asking people for stuff. I know I should. I just get so like weird about asking people for stuff. So some kids did try to do tubes. And the tubes did work, but then it just uses a lot more tape because then they had to tape under and around and stuff like that. So that's it. Just a new take on an idea that I'm sure all of y'all have already done, but I like doing it, so I keep doing it. And for our non-tech idea that we had to purchase, I wanted to revisit KEVA planks because as much as my kids love them and as much as they're one of my favorites, I like to keep things fresh and new. And so I went onto the KEVA plank website, and maybe you already know this, but there are resources for educators on there. And if you click the educator link, there are packets that you can download with ideas that have to do with art or STEM or things like that. And so when I looked at the STEM one, it had some really, really great ideas. Some of them we had already used, but some of them I had never tried before. It had different challenges like spirals, figure out how to make different kinds of spirals. What are the different kinds that you can make? Impossible structures where you have to like remove something from the bottom and the whole thing won't fall down. Making a tower as tall as yourself. The kids always do that. They love that one. Doing something with constraints, like everything has to be built by 2s or everything has to be built by 5s. Like they all have to be built in those chunk sections. And then they even had things like games like Sculptionary. You build something and your partner tries to guess what you built, or your partner gives you instructions and there's multiple kids and you have to say, okay, now you have to add to your structure with something standing straight up, and now you have to do it with something laying flat back. And so the kids have to build based off of what that person is calling out. There's just a lot of great ideas. This packet is like 4 pages long of ideas. It's the STEM one. And I just thought that was a nice way to keep KEVA planks like up and fresh and things like that. And so for our app today, I wanted to show you, it's an app that I just downloaded recently, so I'm not an expert by any means, but for as much as I've played it so far, I've really liked it. It's called Coding Planet. Of course it's coding. I just go back to coding. I like it. So Coding Planet, and when you open it, it's going to show you a little introduction. I'm just going to skip it because I don't think you really want to see, and then I'm going to click Getting Started. And then there's basics and functions and things like that, and those are locked until you play. So when I go to basics, there's 8 chapters. So there's 8 different things that I have to do to get through basics. So when I click 1, we have our planet, and you have to move forward and you have to collect stuff. Those are the 2 things you have to do, and then you have to hit run. So I don't know how well you can see. There's my little person, my little robot, and he has to get to the end and he has to pick up his little resource. So I'm going to click forward 3 times, and then I'm going to click the circle because that is what I think I'm supposed to do. And then I'm going to click run. And the guy picks it up, and hooray! And now there's more information and more types of code to use. So now I have to turn him and try to get him to the end. So now he has to pick up 2 different things, plus he has to move forward, plus he has to turn. So let's see, straight, pick up, straight, turn. Oh, now that I'm under pressure, I feel like I'm not going to be able to do it. And then run. Ooh, sorry. And then, oh yay, I got it. Okay. So anyway, that was that. And I thought it was just a really good add-on. It's really neat. I'm always trying to look for new things for the kids to try, and especially things that are free. And so this was a really nice free resource with some good activities for the kids to use. So that was Coding Planets. All right. So that was it. We had our marble roller coaster that you can tape to the wall, our KEVA planks that had all the downloadable packets on the website, and then Coding Planets, the app. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Next week is book fair for us, so we'll see how that goes. Bye.